All right. And we are recording, and today is the power hour for giving your way to prosperity. And a subset, giving and receiving is the same energy. And so welcome, welcome. I am planning on doing it a little differently tonight because I thought, I've been doing it. I've been doing it on the phone for, like I said, years and years and years. Every month I do the power call. However, I've been doing Zoom now for 3 or 4 years because of everybody wanting to connect and see each other. But at the moment, it's just me. So how about that? So I'm planning on doing a couple of graphics for you tonight, which I normally don't. So I'm going to throw on some graphics tonight. So hopefully you can see those in your phone as well. And go ahead and mute yourself while you're trying to figure out the audio or the video there, Michael. Okay. And go ahead and say yes, it's okay to record. And you will get this recording, by the way. Thank you for registering. And all of you who registered and are here now, you'll get your recording as well. All right. And welcome. So you'll be able to do this process that we're going to do tonight without me. So here we go. I'm just going to go ahead and start. And a lot of those of you who do not know me, I'm very experiential, and I'm going to give you a little bit of background about me. And I'm also inviting one of our certified coaches on tonight, Sue, and she will be with us, and you'll be hearing from her as well. So I just want to say, what is abundance? I mean, does everybody have different definitions of what abundance is? So I love to have experiential, right? So I don't really want you to stay muted unless you've got background noise. So just chime in. What's your definition of abundance? Anybody?
Well, this is Sue TK. And for me, abundance is just this feeling of having everything that I desire and I want. And along with that is gratitude for the universe providing me with all my desires. So to me, that's abundance.
Okay, great. Does anybody else want to chime in about what their definition of abundance is? Okay, so for me, I just want to say you can have an abundance of a lot of things, right? Prosperity has a different definition, perhaps, or wealth, or riches, or money, or assets. Those types of things can have different meanings to different people and have different vibrations as well. So what I'm going to share with you tonight is actually, it's a lot of things I'm going to share. And one of them is my story of how I went from where I was, where I had lost everything, and where I am today and how I got there. And I'm going to do that in like 2 seconds here. And to explain and share with you a lot of the things that have worked for me and have worked for thousands of people around the world. Okay. Hi, Gail. Welcome, hon.
Hi.
Yay, I get to see somebody. Yay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead. Like I said, normally in these power calls, I don't share my screens and those types of things, but I think I'm going to give a couple of graphics here and there, but definitely get something to write with, get a pen and paper, because we're going to be doing some stream of consciousness writing so that you can experience and discover perhaps some of the things that might be going on that would be blocking you. Uh-oh, I'm getting background. So Gail, go ahead and they are Sue. So what might be blocking you from creating prosperity or having everything that you want in your life? And if there are any blocks, we're going to look at those and maybe help you discover what those might be. And then, so these are just little snippets of things that I'm going to share with you tonight. So let me share my screen. Get your pen and paper ready because I like experiential. Then, like I said, normally I don't do this with the power call, but what the hey? We're going to try it anyway. All right. Everybody can see my screen. Yes. I'm going to need some answers here because.
Yeah, I can see it.
All right. Great. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. So how many of you want to work for money? Yes or no?
Not work, but receive.
All right. Well,
Receive, yeah.
how about you work? How about have your money work for you? Would that be
Yeah.
okay? Okay.
I like
Yes.
So how many of you believe that you can have money and relationships at the same time?
Yes.
Money and love.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
okay, for some people, they may not. They may have a lot of love in their life, but maybe not a lot of money. Or maybe they've had a lot of money, but been lonely or not had a very healthy relationships. And so just not long ago, I was bankrupt. I had lost everything. I had lost my businesses, my homes. All I had was a car with one headlight and one door that didn't open. I was a divorced mom. I had a 2.5-year-old son. So I was a single mom. And I had to crawl inside the window to get inside of my car so I could drive in this little car. And I had lost everything. And that's where I was not long ago. However, I kept saying to myself, why is this happening to me? Because I'm a good person. Why is this happening? I don't know if you've ever done that to yourself and said, why is this happening? Because I'm a good person. This shouldn't be happening to me, right? Why have I lost all these things? Or seemingly that's how it felt. And so I didn't give up on myself, and I still don't. And I have created a group of people around the world that support me to remind me of who I really am. So be mindful of who you're hanging out with and be mindful of what they're saying to you, and don't give up on your dreams, because now I've been traveling all around the world. I've taught these workshops now for almost 30 years. I've been teaching on 6 continents live with adults and kids, and built a school in Africa, teaching students all around the world, helping them be able to get clarity about who they are and what they want in their life, and being able to give back and have impact and have contribution. And I've been able to do all of this. And my son graduated from NYU. He's living his dream. He's going on Broadway. He's living in Manhattan on the Upper West Side, not doing so bad, right? And my husband and I have been together now for 25 years. So now I definitely have attracted more and more of what I've wanted, and I have felt good about what I'm doing in the world. And I've been on all these stages with all these people all around the world. And I'm sharing all of this with you, not to say, hey, look at me. I'm sharing this with you so you can say, wherever you are in your quest for prosperity and your quest for feeling worthy in the world, to not give up on yourself, to look at you, because if I can do it, you can do it. Because we are building a global movement of conscious leaders, empowering others to create a win-win world. And that is basically my story in a nutshell about why I'm here sharing this with you tonight. Because the question I want you to ask yourself is, what are you worth? Ask yourself, what am I worth? What am I worth? And so I'm going to go off the screen for a minute. I'm going to stop sharing. And I just want to share with you a couple of things about all of this. Is that, you know, I raised my vibration. People say, well, how did you go from doubt to, you know, believing in yourself? How did you go from losing everything to seemingly people look at me and they think, oh, she's got it going on, right? So one of the things that I did is I did give my way to prosperity. And it's a concept that I'm going to share with you tonight about why giving and receiving is the same energy. All right. So I raised my vibration. Long story short, our thoughts have vibrations, our words have vibrations, our energy has a vibration, our body has vibration, and money has a vibration. And so our emotions are wrapped around our worth sometimes. In other words, don't you feel some people may have their worth wrapped up into their credit score, or how much money do they have in their bank? You know, that's how they wrap up their worthiness. That's how they say, well, how they're worthy. And so the thing I want to say to you is that you have to prime the pump, because what I did when I was living in a van down by the river, kind of a story, right? When I was definitely in that moment, I started giving, even if it was just $1. I just gave some, if I had something that I could give someone, it made me feel good. It raised my vibration. So it wasn't about me giving them so that I could get something in return. It was more of, I feel better when I give somebody something that they didn't have, even if it was just, like I said, $1. And it raised my vibration each time, and it raised it and it raised it and it raised it. And I felt easier and easier and better about myself. And I realized that it's not about the giving as much as it is about the receiving, because most of us give, okay, all the time, but we forget about the receiving part. We forget about, oh, that's right, in order for people to give, there has to be receivers. So why can't I be a receiver? And so many of us may have that blocked. We may have that experience of how to receive blocked for a lot of reasons. We're going to go there and find out what yours is, if that is the case. And I want to ask this question, and you can answer this out loud if you choose. How do you feel when you have money? How do you feel?
Feel good.
Okay.
Feel good.
Okay. How do you feel when you don't?
Struggling. Not good.
Well, good. What were you going to say, Sue TK?
I feel generous when I have money, in a different way. You know, I'm not worrying about not having enough. I feel generous so that I give more freely.
Okay, great. So that's a good distinction about giving more freely. And we're all going to go there about perhaps what are our fears about giving and receiving and how that shows up in our life. Okay. So how do you feel when you're in debt?
Oh, like I have a 100-pound concrete block on my shoulders weighing me down.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
let me just go ahead. What were you going to say, Michael?
limited, stressed.
Great. Not great. So yeah, so these are, maybe you can relate with this, but whenever you feel stressed or weighed down, or you're feeling like you're in debt and you owe things, I mean, a lot of people don't want to feel like they owe anybody. Is that true? Yes or no? For many people, they don't want to feel that, oh, I don't feel like I don't want to owe somebody something. So let me give them, let me balance that. Let me balance it out, somehow. Right.
Yeah.
And
I think that's true for a lot of people.
yeah.
I don't know that I feel that way personally, but I know.
Oh,
I know,
okay. So you like owing people money?
It's not.
Just
yeah,
checking.
I don't mind it because I see the value in it. So, for example, if I owe the people at the company money, it's because I've received something
right
that was valuable to me. And so, yes, I have an obligation to pay for it.
Correct. So what if you can't pay for it?
That's when the stress comes in.
Okay. So that's also when the guilt comes in. So whenever any of us, perhaps this might be you, whenever you feel guilty about this, guilt demands punishment. Maybe you've heard me say this before. Those of you who have taken our Essence of Being classes and all the other workshops we've done. However, guilt demands punishment. So what that means is anytime that you feel guilty about any of this, you are attracting punishment to you, either through self-sabotage, and I'm sure none of us do that. None of us sabotage, right? Either through self-sabotage, or we attract people to us to punish us, or institutions to punish us, or somehow it comes to us because that's what we are vibrating. Our guilt vibrates. In other words, again, I'm going back to the concept, and it's a universal law that quantum physics has actually proven now, that our thoughts have vibrations. Our feelings have vibrations. And so what I did was I primed the pump. I said, you know what? I don't want to feel guilty about this. I don't want to feel guilty about losing everything. I don't want to feel guilty about not having anything. Therefore, I choose to prime the pump. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to raise my own vibration. So every time that I give somebody something, I feel good about it. And I know that I am receiving at the same time I'm giving. And that's the piece that I'm going to just try to put in your brain a little bit, and hopefully you can own this, that giving and receiving is the same energy. And I'll show you how, okay, in a second. So the other thing that I noticed about cash and money and prosperity is it's equated with water, just like our emotions. Emotions are watery, are they not? Sometimes, you know, you cry for sadness, you cry for joy. It's fluid. And so when you prime the pump, you're priming the fluids. You're just saying, something's coming, something's coming. And those of you who do not know what I mean by prime the pump, that means that you're a lot younger than me. So when you have a pump on the farm, you just push and push and push and push. And then finally that water comes out. It doesn't come out for a while. You have to keep priming it. And unfortunately, many people stop. They stop the pump before it comes. They think, oh, it didn't work. That job didn't work. That bank, that deal didn't work. That my thought didn't work. Okay. So they stop before it comes. And so water can amplify those emotions. Think about money and how we talk about it. Liquid assets, currency, trickle down economics, multiple streams of income, cash flow. So you notice it's all it revolves around that. And so our emotions can actually support us in shifting that. So let me go back to my sharing of the screen and let me do a little more graphics for you here. So it's sort of like when you want something, that's putting your gas on the car. That's your desire. And when you put on your brake at the same time when you're driving your car, that's resistance or the belief you can't have it. And so many of us focus on, well, I can't have it yet, or I don't have it yet. And so that allows that resistance to really continue, because we're focusing on the resistance. We're focusing on that we don't have it yet. It's not here. And so what do we do when we drive around with our gas and our brake on at the same time? What do? Can you see on the screen?
Yeah,
Hello?
you can see it.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Stuck.
We spin our wheels.
So you
Yep.
feel stuck.
Spinning.
Yeah. So many of us might feel stuck. Okay. Sometimes when it comes to our desires and achieving all of that and allowing it to come. And so what do? We let go of the gas and we settle and we say, oh, well, we did let go of our desires. We let go of our dreams. We think it's just not meant to be. So part of my mission here is to really support us in letting go of the resistance, or letting go of the brake, not the gas, not settling. Because you've seen this before, what you resist persists. If you keep resisting, if you keep coming up and hitting your head against the wall, it's not working, then it keeps continuing. And so what do? One of the things that I love to share in all my workshops is trust and allow and don't ask how. Many of us want to know how. How do I do it? Even though there are many ways for you to support yourself through this whole process of allowing more prosperity in your life, there are certain steps you can take, but the whole part of this is just allowing it, not trying to force it, and trust that it's happening. That's that priming the pump. And that's the hardest thing sometimes, is you keep priming it and nothing is coming out. And we give up before the miracle. So part of this is all about our subconscious beliefs. And that's what we're going to go to really quick for you to find out what are your subconscious beliefs around giving and receiving. Okay. So this is your brain, and this is your brain on our power hour tonight. Okay. We have conscious thoughts and we have unconscious or subconscious thoughts. So our conscious thoughts, we have positive and negative, and we also have positive and negative unconscious or subconscious thoughts. Now, let's just say that our conscious thought when it comes to money and prosperity and abundance is, okay, well, let's check our credit report. In my Essence of Abundance classes, you know, that's one of the things we do because a lot of people don't want to look at that. If you're going to play in this game, there's a credit game that you play in here in the US and around the world. Okay. So there is a credit game, and you have to not be afraid. So you look at your credit report, or let's look at maybe different investment strategies, or maybe you have a bunch of tools. I mean, I can give you tools and tools all day on how to do these things. Maybe you do affirmations. These are conscious things that you look at, work through, think about. Okay. However, at the same time, you could be having subconscious or unconscious thoughts about yourself, which you don't even know, or maybe you have maybe glimpses of, maybe that you feel like you're not good enough, or that you don't deserve it, or that you're unworthy. So what happens is, if you want things to change in your life, so if all of those things on the top here, all those conscious things, they have to be aligned with those subconscious thoughts. So for things to change, first, your subconscious or your belief system must change. Because you can do affirmations all day long, and if you're not aligned, that subconscious thought will block you from achieving and really allowing things, because they've proven again that there are 40,000 more unconscious thoughts than conscious thoughts. So it's really, really important to find out what is in that head of yours, right? And so I call that your bubble talk. That's the subconscious thoughts that keep you from getting what you want. It's like the little bubble above your head in a cartoon character. And that's what you're thinking up there. And that's what's running the bus. Okay. So let's say that your bubble talk about money is, I'm not good enough. So your core bubble is, I'm not good enough. So it can show up in your money world of either you have it and you lose it, or you have just enough, but not more than, or maybe you've never had enough. Okay. So it can show up that way in your life because of that belief. And so what we want to do is blow away those bubbles. So to change that from I am not good enough, you would change it to I am good enough. Sounds simple, right? But maybe not so easy for some of you. So how many of you want to go ahead and let's see what's in there? Want to play? So get your pen and paper out. And what we're going to do is I'm going to do a little stream of consciousness writing here for you. And if you're driving or if you're on the recording, just stop it and you can do this later, or you can just talk about, just think about it if you can't write it down. Okay. And so what this means is, I want you to think about the first thing that comes up. Finish the sentence and don't think about it. Don't edit it. Just think about the first thing that comes up and write it down, whatever it is. Okay. So here we go. Whoops. I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it this way. So I have a fear of giving money because. Just write down the first thing that comes up. Don't edit it. Don't think about it. I have a fear of giving money because. Just write it down.
What if I don't pay my bills?
Yeah.
And that's what you write down. I can't pay my bills. Okay. So that's what you'd write down is I can't pay my bills. So just write that down. Okay. The next one is I have a fear of receiving money because. I have a fear of receiving money because. Write down the first thing that comes up. And go ahead and mute yourself for now. I'm going to ask everyone to unmute in a minute, okay? Once we get through all of these. once
For
we
me-
get through all of these, I'm going to have you unmute, but go ahead and mute yourself right now.
Need it more. Yeah, then they know you have it. And then
Person on the iPhone, I don't know who you are, honey. Can you go ahead and mute yourself first? Can you mute? Hit *6 or hit mute, just so that we can go through these. And then we'll unmute everybody so you can talk. We can talk about it. The next one is rich people are what? Rich people are, and just fill in the blank. First thing that comes up. And the next one is, when I touch money, I feel, when I touch money, I feel, and last one is, if money were a person, how would I describe him or her? Is it a male? Is it a female? How would you describe money if it was a person? What adjectives would you have? How would you describe that person? Okay. Yeah, so this is just a very quick, down and dirty kind of an awareness of what is in there, what's in that bubble top, what's going on in there. And so whatever you wrote down is great. And we have a few minutes to talk about what you wrote down for some of you, because I'm sure it'll resonate with some of you as well. So who would like to share anything at all that they wrote down? Gail, go ahead.
Okay. I don't have a fear of giving money. In fact, I just sent $50 to Peru and I'm not working. To some
Okay.
people, to a tribe down there that I know they're suffering because the tourism's way off. And so I blessed it and I kissed it. Oh, I kissed it goodbye. So no
Okay.
worries about that. About if I feel how I feel about receiving money, I just Reiki'd someone I didn't know because a friend asked me if I could help her, and she asked me how much I charged, and I said nothing. Because it's like, I feel like, okay, this gift is coming through me and it doesn't belong to me. And, I have this thing that my daughter's like, charge, mom. And in LA, they charge $200 for that. And I said, I just don't feel like I'm entitled. It's like, I don't feel like I'm worth it. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do.
have this conflict about doing things that I feel I've been blessed with that and charge for that. I have a heart, and my daughter's like, no, here they charge $250. You should charge at least $100. And I was like, and the person could afford it. I just felt guilty. I was like,
So Gail,
No.
there's a lot to wrap up in that, and I'm going to just come right to it about, you said the word worthy. I don't feel worthy. I don't feel worthy, or the value that I add, right, is not equated to certain things. And so a lot of times, and maybe all of you, maybe some of you can relate with that, about I don't feel worthy enough, perhaps, to create or to have a transaction like that, especially if it's something that you love to do, or if you feel like it's something that is, a lot of people that are coaches or that want to give things to people, or in that kind of mindset, they feel like it's not spiritual if they receive money, or if it's not meant. It's like, oh, I'm not pure anymore because putting that dirty money. Right. So that is a common theme. Great answers, and we're going to dive into that and see why. Of course, if you feel like you're not worthy of it, then of course that could be a block right there. That is the block, that you don't feel worthy of that, right? Does anybody else want to share anything
because
else?
the kind of thing it is. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do. I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're saying. Does anybody else want to share anything about giving and receiving part, about the fear of any of those two? No? Okay. So how do you feel when you touched money? Gail?
I mean, I feel powerful. I mean, it's like, it's a
Okay.
powerful feeling. And I feel like, well, I have so many wealthy friends. In fact, I would say most of them, I bet that I grew up around, and most of my friends, like most of them all are very wealthy. And I'm like, they're entitled to it. I mean, they've inherited it and doubled and tripled it and done well with it and worked. And I'm like,
So you've used this word twice now,
what?
entitled. You've used the word, you've used
Yeah,
it
I feel
twice
like they
now.
earn it. Like it's the, they,
So it's an earned thing. And so I keep cutting you off. I apologize. However, I want to get to the core because I think a lot of people,
they worked for it. Some of them inherited $1 million and they're at 20 million. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, so I'm like, but they worked for it. So I'm like, I don't have any resentment about that.
so how many of you on this call right now feel like you have to earn it?
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah. What if it wasn't about earning it? What if your deservedness and your worthiness has nothing to do with what you do in order to deserve it?
That's a game changer.
What if, well, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. Okay. What if in order for you to receive, you didn't have to do anything for it?
Yes.
What if, for that one? Okay, good, Michelle. So what if you deserved it and you are worthy of it just because you exist?
I agree.
What if? So everybody just stop for a second and just breathe that in for a minute. Okay. What if I don't have to give anything back? I don't have to do anything for it. I don't have to earn it. I deserve it and I'm worthy of it, period.
Yeah.
Now, that is a game changer for some of you for sure, because here's the thing. It's socially acceptable to not receive. However,
Sure.
it's in my world, it's spiritually inappropriate. It's spiritually inappropriate not to receive, because think about this, guys. When you were a baby, right? How many of you were babies? Just checking. All of you, or some of you? Okay. So when you were a baby, or think about when you hold a baby and you're loving on that baby and you say, "You're so cute. You're such a cute little baby." Does that baby look up at you? What does it do? It looks up at you and right? It's receiving. And how does that make you feel when that baby receives that?
Happy.
Yeah, it
Good,
gives
joyful.
something back. It warms your heart, right? It gives something back at the same time. So as that baby is receiving, that baby is giving at the same time. What if we were exactly like that? Oh, that's right, we were. So what the hell happened?
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So all of these things in our life experiences have culminated to all these beliefs that we have bought into from a lot of different places can get in the way of that, because the more I give, the more I receive. The more I receive, the more I give. You might want to write that down. The more I give, the more I receive. The more I receive, the more I give. It is the same energy. If you block it anywhere in there, in the giving or the receiving, it gets blocked. Many people want to give money or give somebody something because they want to feel loved, or they want to feel worthy, or they want to feel they deserve it, or they want to feel relevant, or they want to feel wanted or liked. But there's this thing about sometimes some of us have learned about, there are some strings attached if we receive.
Mhm.
Meaning, yeah, there could be some, if I receive this from somebody, what do they want? Maybe that's something we've learned. Or if we receive something from somebody, say, oh God, I got to give something right back, make it even.
Mhm.
You know, it's a transaction here. I can't just receive something just for the simple fact of receiving it. I have to give something back. And so we like fall over each other trying to give something back, many of us. And we do this when we say, I love you to people. It's not just about money. When we say, I love you, and we're sitting here waiting for it to come back to us. I love you too, love you too, love you too. We say it sometimes because we want to hear it, right? However, my point about all this giving and receiving is that money is innocent. It's just a transactional, it is just a piece of paper or a coin or a bit or whatever we're calling it these days. Okay. It is a form of transaction. It's innocent. And yet we give it so much power. We give our power away to, again, our credit score or our bank account, perhaps, many of us. And the point of this is the more I give, the more I receive, the more I receive, the more I give. If that's true, then perhaps allowing myself to receive, if I say, no, 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 thank you. That's okay. I'll do it myself. I'm strong enough. I have to earn it. Don't just give it to me. Right? If we do that enough, what we're doing is we're saying we want it, but we're also saying, well, not really. Let me just stop. I don't deserve it. I want it, but not really. Let me earn it first. So let me ask you, when you give somebody something and they don't receive it, how does that make you feel?
Sad.
Yeah, you don't want to do it anymore. It's like, well, screw you. If you don't like my gifts, I'm not going to give you anything else. And so what we're teaching others, meaning the universe, God, people, whatever, however we're receiving anything from anywhere, okay? We're teaching, we're giving the energy of no, no, no. So some of you might be saying, yeah, I need it. I want it. I choose this. I deserve it. And at the same time, you're saying, no, not really. Let me earn it first, or let me deserve it first. Let me prove to myself or you that I'm worth it. Or I can't match that. I can't receive that. So it's confusing. So what you're saying to the universe or your energy or your guidance, you're saying out loud, very loudly, that's why you get stuck. So what I had to do is I had to say, you know what? I choose to receive it. I say thank you. And those of you who've taken Essence of Being, you know that exercise that we do about giving compliments and saying thank you. So if we could just teach ourselves just to say thank you. Thank you to anyone that gives us anything, whether it be God, universe, our friends, our parents, whomever, our bosses, our employees, whoever. If we could just say thank you and breathe it in and know that we are allowing it to come in without strings attached, and that I don't owe you anything for it. I'm receiving it because I'm making you feel good. The simple fact of you receiving it, you're actually giving something in return. Just like that baby. Does that make sense?
It does. It makes good sense.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it does.
I know that one of the things you taught me, Burge, was that if I don't receive, then I'm denying someone else to really give. And that is the huge piece. Huge.
Yeah, and it is true for me. That's the truth for me, is if if I don't allow someone to give me something, I'm saying to them, yeah, I'm definitely denying the gift to say, I really want to do this.
Mhm.
And so I have denied their essence of them wanting to give that to me.
What if you really don't want the gift they're giving you?
You say thank you anyway.
I know.
Remember, it's priming the pump. The more you say thank you, no matter if you want it or not, no matter if you believe them or not, no matter if you're like, what do they want? Why are they giving this to me? Okay. No matter what, the more you do that, the easier it becomes. And as long as you're priming that pump, it's coming. And it gets easier with each pump. So when I was in that position, yes, I would give my way to prosperity because it made me feel good to do that. I felt, I raised my vibration. I was like, oh, that really feels good. They received it. Now, if they didn't receive it, it blocks it. So I couldn't, it doesn't feel the same way. And at the same time, I chose to allow myself to receive from people. Do I still have blocks from that sometimes? Yes. But I have to consciously choose to trust and allow, and don't ask how, and consciously choose to allow someone to give to me without strings attached, and not have that pressure or feeling like I've got to give something back in order to be worthy of it.
So what if you've received a gift and you've given a gift to somebody, and yet they're constantly coming back looking for more from you? You know what I mean? Where you feel like now this is not you just freely giving a gift anymore. It's more like you feel like you've given it to them, and now they feel like you have an open door to your wallet for them.
Right. So there's the intention part of this. It's very important. If you see a pattern in someone, if you're giving to them and it makes you feel good, great. If you give to them and it doesn't make you feel good, then there needs to be a conversation about that. Okay. There needs to be a conversation about, oh, this isn't making me feel good anymore, because it feels like it's a one-way ticket. And what I mean by that is, you're not expecting anything when you give somebody something and you're not expecting anything in return. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I talk
Right.
about. Okay. You're not expecting anything because it makes you feel good. You do get something. You get that feeling of, I feel good and I'm raising my vibration about who I am. And this feels good to me. The minute it stops feeling good to you, you get to look at the intention and the consciousness of yourself, because you can't change them. However, you can perhaps have a conscious conversation about how that feels for you. What I feel like saying is, I feel like if you feel like you're being taken advantage of, you get to look at in your life, where else do I feel like I'm getting taken advantage of? Is this a pattern of mine? Is this something that it's showing up in a lot of different places in my life? Or maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. But it's an opportunity, honey, for you to look at what's going on for you, because that's something you can change. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So great questions. Now I'm going to give you some tools, you guys, because I want to go through a couple things on my screen one more time here. And again, we're digging very quickly through this. So giving and receiving, can you understand what I mean by that? It's the same energy. And give to yourself first. And what I mean by that is say thank you. You are giving a gift to yourself first by allowing others to give to you. It is a totally different way of looking at giving and receiving. Again, it's spiritually inappropriate to not receive. Okay, so give to yourself first by allowing yourself to receive. And we spend money a lot in this prosperity world of ours. A lot of times we'll spend money. Let me go to this one first. We're going to spend money to avoid pain sometimes. We use money to soothe our fears. So what do you do when you're feeling bad? You go buy something, or you go eat something, or you fill up a hole somewhere. You're like, okay, I'm not feeling good. Let's go out to eat, or let me go buy some shoes. So sometimes we can use money to avoid that pain. And the other piece I want to just share with you is if we're afraid to fail, then we already have. Because when I was in a van down by the river, kind of an experience, okay, I felt like a failure, but I knew I wasn't going to give up on myself. And I wasn't afraid to fail because that's part of the process. If you avoid failure, you avoid success. It's just like the athletes. They fail and they fail and they fail and they fail and they win. It's part of the process. 7 out of 10 millionaires go bankrupt at least once. So we're in great company. I have millions in assets now. I have gone bankrupt. Do I want to sit back and think about and focus on the fact that I failed? If I don't fail, that means I haven't been playing the game. And the only failure is the failure to participate. And you guys know that for some of you that have taken Essence of Being, right? The only failure is the failure to participate. So for me, as long as I'm participating, as long as I'm moving, as long as I'm adding value, I have an effect in the world. And that is success to me. But if you would like a tool, because I'm all about tools, I'm going to give you the 4 buckets. And this is what I did, okay, to get me to the place where I am now. And again, it's not have to be about buckets, but I'm using the water metaphor. Every time you have income come in, every month, whatever the income is, put a little bit in saving, spending, investing, and tithing, which is giving. Okay? So if you can make this a habit, save a little, spend a little, invest a little, give a little. If you can put that in your mindset, and you decide how much. You can say 10%, 5%, 2%. Make it a habit of always dividing it up this way, because I'm not going to talk about spending. You know what that is. Investing means you're making your money work for you. Okay, that means you're investing in something that's going to make money for you, whether that's interest, whether that's a business, whether that's real estate. There's a lot of different assets you can invest in, and that's what you'll learn in the Essence of Abundance if you ever do that class. But investing, okay, is a bucket. Saving is a different bucket. Saving is a bucket that you put money into where you never touch the principal. Never, 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 never touch the principal. You can touch the interest that you make. And there's a lot of different thoughts about saving, okay? What it does, vibrationally speaking, if I know that I have X amount saved, then I feel not as desperate. Meaning that if I know that I've got $100 in my wallet, I'm not broke. It also means that it's a cushion that you know on an energy level that you know is always there. So it's a habit of saying, I'm never going to spend it. I'm only going to spend the interest. This is your legacy piece here. Okay. And out of all of these 4 buckets, the tithing or the giving is the most important. Because the more you hold on to something, the more it gets lost. It grinds into a diamond. Okay. Meaning that if you're afraid to give because you can't pay your bills, okay, then that's the fear that's stopping you from allowing the flow. So let's say this together. Give as you go, create a flow.
As you go, create a flow.
Give as you go, create a flow.
Create a flow.
Give as you go,
Give as you
create
go,
a
create a
flow.
flow.
Yes.
Give as you go, create
Give
a
as you
flow.
go, create a
Create a
flow.
flow.
And the more you get into the flow of it, then you get into the cash flow, right? Then there's a flow that's kind of moving. So if you ever feel stuck in it, just give somebody something. That's what I did. And it basically moved me. It moved me up my vibrational scale of appreciation for myself. Because I am not the master. I mean, I'm not the slave, I'm the master, right? You're not the slave for money, you're the master. Your money is your employee. Have it work for you, not the other way around. And the other thing to say is it's always a good time to make money. It's always a good time to make money. Don't let any of the outside influences in your world shoot you down to say, oh, it's the economy. It's bad now. I can't make money. Oh my God, the prices now are horrible. Inflation is this and that. Okay. How's that make you feel when you're focusing on that? I'm not saying put your head in the sand and make, conscious choices. However, if you live in that space, if you live there, it's painful. Any questions?
Hey, Burge,
Yeah.
what's your thoughts on any amount of how to tithe or percentages on tithing, or you
So
just kind of give it a feel?
yeah, I don't necessarily buy, and tithe comes from 10%. It's not about, for me anyway, it's not about the percentages of, it's got to be 10%. It's the habit. Okay, you get to decide, is it 5%, 10%, 22, you get to decide the percentages of what that is, as long as you keep the habit of every month knowing. And one way to do that is to have an automatic thing come out that you're always giving for. If there's something that makes your heart sing, that's tithing. If it's someone that makes your heart sing, and hey, and I've got a great thing for you guys, our Healing Forest Foundation, we built the school in Liberia. We're teaching 380 children. So you can sponsor kids for like 120 a year or $10 a month. Okay. You can pick that. I'd love for that to happen. You just go to our healingforestfoundation.org and sponsor a kid. That would be great. Or whatever makes your heart sing. It can be something every month that you're doing, even if it's $10 a month.
Got it.
Yeah. The other thing I'm going to show you is, and remind you that you make a difference, you matter, and you're important. And if you want to do a deeper dive into your subconscious beliefs around prosperity or loving yourself, get some more tools, affirmations, and assessments, you can just click on this or just go to essenceofbeing.com/authentic you. And it's $47, you guys. So essenceofbeing.com/authentic you. And it's audios, videos, play sheets, assessments, affirmations, meditations, all kinds of things in here that can support you in being more authentic and loving yourself more. So that is something that I'm offering you tonight as well. It's being an authentic you. Okay. And that is me. So now I want to just share Sue for a moment. Sue is one of our conscious leaders from our Conscious Leadership Academy that you see on my over here, the Conscious Leadership Academy. And she's also a coach. She's one of our certified coaches. And so you will have an opportunity. You're going to get an email, everybody. You're going to get an email after this ends. You're going to get our actual recording of this. Okay. And you'll have an opportunity to do a strategy session with Sue. And just be watching for your email, and she'll be able to, you can sign up with her, and she'll be able to do like a 30-minute free session with you. Okay. Is there anything you want to say about that, Sue?
Yes. I look forward to connecting with all of you. And Burge, the topic you picked for this month could not have been more perfect, because those of you who were at Essence of Being in McAllen know that Tom and I left there, and I said, you know, it's like I've been on a second honeymoon. Life has been so great. Well, we just got back to Tallahassee on Sunday, and even though I worked in my business while we were traveling, I really didn't have money coming into my account, because I was I was writing blogs and I was writing scripts, but I wasn't in action. And so when I saw that this was the topic this month, giving and receiving, I had to go back and remind myself of so many things that I've learned. And as I've said before, I'm a confidence trainer, and lots of people hear that and go, what does that mean? Well, it's like an exercise physical trainer, only I do it for what's inside of you, building that confidence. And in all honesty, the things that you went through tonight, Burge, about our feelings about money and our feelings about giving and receiving are so powerful as far as our confidence goes, that I consider myself a work in progress, and I'd love to just visit and coach with any of you. So when you get the email, there will be a calendar link on there, and I encourage you, click on it, you'll get me. So
Yay, Sue TK! Thank you, honey. Thank you so much. And I'm so appreciative of you spending time with us and sharing your gifts and your energy and your wisdom. And the thing about this really is important, that I want to remind us all. Who are you hanging out with? Okay. And who are you talking to? Don't give up on yourself, wherever you are in this quest. Okay. And I know it's tough for some of us right now. And so now what? And what if we could receive all that we choose to have? And what if our feelings of deservedness and worthiness is aligned subconsciously and consciously? What do you think would happen and continues to happen? And I encourage us all to stay in community, stay in connection, stay in conversation, stay in learning. I mean, have you learned everything? There are learners and there's knowers. Yes, you all know a lot, right? And yet there's always more. We're not done yet here. So I encourage all of you to keep playing, keep moving. And remember, the only failure is a failure to participate. And I really appreciate all of you coming tonight. And thank you, Sue, for coming and participating tonight in this. And you'll get the recording, like I said, and go to essenceofbeing.com. Just check out all of the upcoming events that we have. Essence of Being again in Texas in May. And our next power hour will be, remember, I've been doing this now, gosh, since 2013, every month. I'm there with you, okay? My word is my bond. And I think that's a good conscious leader that all of us can, That's part of being a conscious leader, is your word is your bond. Okay. So May, we're doing, it's always the third Wednesday of every month, unless I'm out of the country, and then you get videos or something. But the next one we're doing is May 18th. And guess what the topic's going to be? Da-da-da.
Manifesting.
How to stay positive in a chaotic world.
Good one.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's about time we revisit that one. How
Yeah.
to stay positive in a chaotic world. And I invite all of us to shine our light and to stay positive no matter what is happening in the world, and be the way shower and demonstrate how the world can be just by you showing up. One person at a time, two people at a time, showing up and being the magnificent beings that you are. And stand in your power and don't give up on yourself. You can do this. And you know what? If I lost everything, meaning if I said, okay, it's time for me to have another learning experience, and I lose everything, I'm good. I am so good, because I know I've been there, and you guys have been through things in your life. So I know that this is transitory. And I know that this is something, it's a gift. There's got to be a pony in here somewhere from all of this poop. Just always think of that. When you think of me, think of pony in the poop. Okay. Burge, pony in the poop. Okay. I got a lot of shit around me. I know there's a pony here somewhere. So, okay. All right. Good job, everybody. Good job of finding out and discovering things. And I will see you next time. Go to essenceofbeing.com. I love you all. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Love you,
Thank you,
Burge.
Burge.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks again.